As you enter the largest mosque in China, be aware you're being watched. There are ID checks before you're allowed in, and cameras track your every move. The Idka Mosque is over 500 years old, and you'll find it in the Xinjiang Uyghur Autonomous Region in western China. It's built on the edge of a desert, along the old Silk Road in the ancient city of Kashgar. Locals here could once move freely across Central Asia, trading fabric, spices, and ideas. As you head towards the mosque entrance, you'll notice bright yellow glazed tiles, Quranic inscriptions, and 2 tall minarets on either side. In the past, more than 20,000 Muslims, mostly ethnic Uyghurs, would visit during important festivals. When the main hall filled up, the outdoor courtyard would take the overflow. People would pack in shoulder to shoulder, kneeling together in prayer. But today, the courtyard is mostly empty, because for the past decade, the Idka Mosque has been closed to public prayer. Occasionally, the government lets people in, but from a tightly vetted guest list of worshippers, because these days, the mosque's main role is tourism. You can buy a ticket to admire the architecture, just make sure you're not caught praying. In some ways, it's surprising that this mosque is still standing at all, because over the past decade, China's destroyed thousands of mosques in Xinjiang. Others have been changed to look more classically Chinese. Gone is the Arabic writing, replaced with Chinese script. Critics say it's part of a broader effort to rewrite the culture of the region, and the Idka Mosque has been caught in the middle of it all. Because the thing that they don't tell tourists is that back in 2014, when this mosque was still open for business, a bloody assassination took place. Hello my friend, I'm Aslan Pahari and this is Assassins, the show where we unravel the world's most shocking assassinations. For decades, tension has simmered between the Chinese government and the Turkic-speaking, mostly Muslim Uyghur population. Back in 1949, the Communist Party took control of the region in what it describes as a peaceful liberation. But the story stretches back much further than that. For centuries, imperial Chinese dynasties have moved in and out of this vast territory, taking it and then losing it. But by 2014, the relationship between the Uyghurs and the government was reaching a breaking point. On one side, locals wanting to hold on to their language, culture, and their Islamic faith. On the other side, a powerful, officially atheist government determined to maintain control over every part of its territory. And so, violence erupts, acts of resistance or acts of terrorism, depending on who's telling the story. It's just before 7 a.m. on July 30th, 2014. It's the end of Eid al-Fitr at Idka Mosque. The Chief Imam, Juma Tayir, has just finished leading morning Fajr prayer. Imam Tayir is a prominent community leader. In his mid-70s, he's dressed in the traditional Uyghur style. Large white turban, long loose white cloak, and thin wispy beard. He leaves the mosque and walks towards his car with a colleague. As the colleague opens the car door for him, 3 men approach from behind. They're carrying cleavers. Without warning, they begin attacking him, hacking at his back and neck as he tries to get into the car. His colleague tries to intervene, pulling one attacker away and is stabbed in the thigh for his efforts. Later, he says, "I wanted to help him, but I had nothing to fight them off with. I was scared, so scared. Just thinking about it makes me break out in a cold sweat and cry." Juma Tayir The head imam at China's largest mosque collapses on the street and dies. Chinese police quickly seal off all roads into the city of Kashgar. Within hours of the killing, police identify the assassins. 2 die while resisting arrest. 1 is taken into custody. Another man, who police say is the mastermind, is captured later. All of them are Uyghurs, just like the imam they killed. Police say the killers were influenced by radical religious beliefs and targeted a cleric who opposed violence. The local Chinese Communist Party leaders call the assassination atrocious, beastly, and cruel. Both men are sentenced to death and later executed. They are 18 and 19 years old. To understand how we got here, we need to go back 3 months, to April 30th, 2014. Chinese President Xi Jinping is in town for a special 4-day inspection visit of Xinjiang. He's been in the top job for just over a year. In photos, he appears relaxed. Open collared shirt, no tie. A navy blue jacket zipped halfway up. There's a lot of smiling, a lot of handshakes. It's his first trip here as president. But behind the scenes, he's dealing with the rise in separatist protests and increasingly violent clashes with government security forces. He calls for ethnic unity in the region, but at the same time, he demands greater assimilation. President Xi Jinping urges local Muslims to adopt the culture of the Han Chinese majority. Then, on the final day of his visit, fresh violence breaks out. A small group of Uyghurs have gathered outside a major train station in the regional capital Urumqi. As passengers exit the station, they're suddenly attacked with knives. Around 80 people are injured. 2 of the group then detonate small bombs, killing themselves and a bystander. The response from President Xi Jinping is swift and unambiguous. China must strike back. Strike Hard Against Violent Terrorism is the actual name of the campaign the president launches in May 2014. There's a history of Strike Hard campaigns in China, but this one is specifically for Xinjiang. The campaign is a year-long anti-crime program to, quote, maintain stability by targeting illegal religious activities. According to the Chinese government, 3 evil forces must be stamped out: separatism, extremism, and terrorism. In May, another attack takes place in a market in the regional capital, killing more than 30 people. The government security forces move fast, and the Strike Hard campaign begins. Arbitrary arrests and beatings, ramped up digital surveillance, and the forced collection of biometric data. A mass trial is held at a sports stadium in Xinjiang. Around 7,000 spectators and party officials watch on as large blue flatbed trucks are driven onto the centre of the field. On these trucks, armed officers wearing helmets stand behind defendants, handcuffed and on their knees. The accused wear high-vis orange vests, their heads bowed. 55 are sentenced for terrorism-related crimes, such as separatism, murder, and being members of what the government says are terror groups. Local Uyghur organizations say the crimes are a response to extreme persecution by the Chinese government. A month later, the official Chinese news agency Xinhua announces that 13 people have been executed in Xinjiang for terror-related offences. But the Strike Hard campaign is about more than tough policing. It reaches into people's culture and faith. During Ramadan, Muslim civil servants, teachers and students will not be allowed to fast. Many will be forced to sign pledges promising to keep their religious faith out of schools and workplaces. As Ramadan begins, the official Twitter account for the government news service presents a different picture to the outside world. Images of Chinese Muslims taking part in the holy month with no mention of the fasting bans in Xinjiang. Around this time, a rumour begins to spread. A Uyghur family of 5 in Yarkand County has been murdered, killed by government security forces during house-to-house searches. The Chinese media is silent about it, and the story becomes hard to verify, since journalists are mostly banned from the region. What's clear is that protests quickly spread across Yarkand County. Then, on the last day of Ramadan, riots break out in a number of towns. The Xinhua government news agency says it's an organised, premeditated, well-planned and vicious terrorist incident. Witnesses say the Chinese security forces opened fire on citizens demonstrating against the Ramadan restrictions. In response, the protesters attacked police stations and government offices. Cars are set on fire. And the Chinese government begins cutting off people's internet to restrict communication with the outside world. Death tolls vary widely according to who you listen to. Chinese police say they shot dead 59 violent protesters and arrested more than 200 people. The World Uyghur Congress says things were much worse than this. They claim a few thousand Uyghurs from 4 towns were massacred by security forces. It's around this time that Imam Juma Tayir becomes a target. In the past, he'd been one of the most prominent Uyghur voices supporting President Xi Jinping's government, often calling for patriotism and national unity, always condemning violence no matter the cause. And here's the thing about Imam Tayir. Most imams in China are hand-picked, trained and employed by the Chinese government. But Imam Tayir stood out as being especially trusted by the Communist Party. He was a reliable voice backing Beijing whenever separatist action broke out. He'd even served within the system as a deputy in the National People's Congress. To some locals, that didn't make Imam Tayir a bridge between the Chinese government and the Uyghurs. It made him a collaborator. Imam Juma Tayir is assassinated in the early days of the government's Strike Hard campaign. But Strike Hard doesn't end after 1 year as scheduled. It keeps getting extended. Some suggest it's still playing out to this day. From early 2017, people start being sent away for vocational education and training. In reality, they'll be forced into detention camps without trial and unable to leave. An estimated 1 million Uyghur people are sent to these camps. Many will never return. In Xinjiang, the Strike Hard campaign doesn't just reshape a region, it reshapes families, including the family of Imam Juma Tayir. When he's assassinated in July 2014, Imam Tayir leaves behind 7 adult children. One of his sons, Emrys, later reflects that parents are like a mountain for their children. He remembers trying to hold his father's dead body when it was brought home, but it was covered in wounds. There was blood everywhere. He says the attackers showed no mercy to his elderly father. In the aftermath of his father's assassination, Emrys takes over as Imam. When asked if he's worried about his own safety, he answers, quote, "I can't say I'm not afraid, but I'm not one to hide in my house because of fear. I'm not afraid of the 3 evil forces." 2 years after the assassination of Juma Tayir, the Strike Hard campaign achieves another victory. The Idkar Mosque, the biggest in China, is closed to the general public. A Chinese flag now flies permanently at the entry. Its new life as a popular tourist destination has begun. Thank you for watching, my friend. Next week, we'll be joined by a Uyghur man whose father was arrested by Chinese security forces. They've had no contact since, and he still doesn't know what his father's been charged with. If there's an assassination you'd like us to cover on the show, drop it in the comments.